Have you ever looked out at a dense forest and seen nothing but a solid, uniform wall of green? In the poem "A Sea of Foliage Girds Our Garden Round," the poet looks at that same greenery and finds a landscape defined by sharp contrasts and specific colors. To understand that perspective, we first have to map out the physical space of the garden. This text shows the specific plants making up the garden in stanza 1. The poet identifies light green graceful tamarins standing among mango plumps of green profound. Then the palms arise like pillars gray, before we finally spot the seamols leaning over quiet pools, described as red-red. Stripping away the rest of the stanza leaves us with this specific color spectrum. We have light green layered against dark green, broken up by stark gray, and punctuated by intense red. It creates a vibrant, multi-layered landscape rather than a single, dull shade. Establishing this literal layout gives us a concrete map. We have to see the actual plants and colors before we can understand the emotional reaction the poet has toward them. Analyzing poetry often comes with immediate friction points. Here, the first hurdle is a handful of older words that can obscure the meaning of the opening lines. This diagram looks at the first 3 lines. Girds means surrounds, foliage means leaves, and unvaried means boring or all the same. So the garden is surrounded by a sea of leaves, but that sea is textured and diverse. Once the vocabulary is clear, we hit the most unusual comparison in the stanza, those red seamole flowers. The poet describes the red as startling like a trumpet's sound. This is a bridge between 2 different senses, vision and hearing. This chart tracks sensory intensity. You have a quiet, steady baseline of dark green leaves. Suddenly, that bright red flower interrupts the pattern. It is so striking against the dark background that it visually shouts at your eyes, acting with the same sudden force as a loud trumpet blast hitting your ears. This extreme sensory comparison suggests the garden is not a passive background. It is a dynamic, active environment that demands the observer's full attention. As we move into stanza 2, the environment changes. The sun goes down, and our focus moves from the dense trees to the eastern bamboo and a lotus flower in the water. Look closely at these lines showing the white lotus changing into a cup of silver under the moonlight. Pause the video here. Test your active recall by answering 2 questions. First, what is literally happening to the flower in the dark? And second, what poetic device is cup of silver? Physically, the moonlight is striking the white petals, making them glow against the dark water. By calling the lotus a cup of silver, the poet uses a metaphor to suggest the flower has taken on a precious, metallic quality. This shift from the heavy, physical greens and reds of the day to the delicate, glowing silver of the night changes the character of the garden. It moves the scene from a collection of botanical facts toward a landscape that feels ethereal and rare. The poem ends by describing the emotional effect this moonlit scene has on the observer. The speaker claims one might swoon drunken with beauty. This describes the physical sensation of feeling completely dizzy and overwhelmed by what they are seeing. This timeline helps explain the term primeval Eden. The poet looks back to the very beginning of time to find an untouched paradise. Eden is used here as an allusion to a perfect, original world. By using this reference, the poet suggests that this specific garden is a fragment of a sacred, flawless world that existed before human intervention. This comparison transforms the garden. It is no longer just a collection of plants. It has become a sanctuary of perfection. When we combine the daytime sensory contrasts with the moonlit silver of the second stanza, we see the poet's main argument. The natural world, when observed closely, is a heavenly paradise. Immersing oneself in this variety of color and light suggests that nature provides a sense of stillness and wonder that can bring peace to the human heart. Here is a chart connecting the poetic devices to the lines we've analyzed. Take a screenshot now. We have metaphor with the sea of foliage, simile in palms arise like pillars, personification as the moon looks through their gaps, and symbolism in primeval Eden. These specific terms give you the tools to articulate the complexity hidden in the natural world. If this breakdown helped you see the garden, subscribe for more literary guides.